But now it seems like it's crashing. You see, the pots and pans are being thrown out. Wabon. It's a nasty one. You see, claws are out. You see, it's going to the streets. You see, it's time for pettiness. You know, it's time to be the smallest one possible. One told. If you go down, I go to hell. One told. If you are going to be small, I'm going to be tiny as an ant. One told. If you go up, I'm going to Mount Kilimanjaro.
Start, 2, 1, booster ignition, and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery, returning to the space station, paving the way for future missions beyond.
So yesterday, I'm scrolling through my phone and I see Sims. You know her, right? I see this over here. Ish, my friend Ruben is calling. Can we talk? Hey, yo, Ruben. What's up, man? Sharp, sharp, man. Yeah, man, I'm currently recording, man. Let me give you a call back. Sure, nah. So, I see Sims there with a post on her community tab saying, I was a punching bag for so many years. And then there's now a link. See? And following it, we arrive here.
Yeah, ne, yo. So if you...
The title says, Why My Marriage Ended. And man, it's really sad. It's really sad because not long ago, I was seeing Sims posting in traditional wear there, man. It looked like a celebration of marriage and love. But it seems something has gone wrong. Let's hear what's going on.
are suffering from ismonia and you don't sleep, I'm sure you went on my Instagram and you saw what was posted around 1 a.m. and you're like, but that man that is on Sims' Instagram does not look like the man that Sims married. True. And no, I'm not the one that posted, but let me just take you back a bit. So it's 2015 and Habi and I decided to try this thing out one more time because we'd been dating on and off since 2006. We even both had kids outside from different relationships and we decided to reunite. So it was at Fill Up the Dome that we decided, no man, we are meant to be, so we're going to do this thing. Fine. Anglobole in 2016, I get pregnant and we welcome our daughter in 2017. But shortly after we welcome our daughter, the thing that has been happening to me reoccurs. Okay, so if you guys know my story, my baby daddy, my son's father, I used to be in a very physically abusive relationship with him, and I vowed to myself that I would never find myself in that situation.
I know this story. I've watched Sims content a lot. And at some point, I wanted to bring Sims for an interview on the podcast after I'd had Owami, because these are very powerful ladies who are really taking advantage of a white machine, a Puma Peshe, YouTube, you know, the algorithm. And they're doing something worthwhile that even I, as a man, admire very, very much. You see? So, there was a change of format at the podcast, but we're not here for that. I would still very much love to talk to her, but I'm sad to see that it's the same abuse that she suffered. You know, more in particular because not long ago, I was seeing how Sims was coming to Dineo Ranaka's defense in a video. And I texted her and said, hey, yo, you've been going through a lot. And I just saw a video where you were talking about, you know, the deaths that were occurring in your family and the stress that you were in and how you got on camera despite the pain and you were really hiding how you were truly feeling, but you kept it going. I remember watching that video and reaching out to her and say, yo, man, I big ups to you for standing strong and being who you are, because that was one of the things that disturbed us from actually, being together on the podcast. She was going through a lot, and I also had a change of format, but I'll be having guests soon, so I hope to have her. This is very sad.
But unfortunately for me, like, you cannot scan into the future and see the things that are going to happen. And when you're in love with someone, like, and you've explained your traumas and your pain, you don't expect for them to turn around and inflict the same pain on you. But
Yeah, yeah. So I guess as I was congratulating her for, putting up a brave face and having the pain behind her at that time, that's my thought, that she's well and truly conquering and she's, really strong like that. Turns out that she's still going through another issue now. This is a man who is slapping, an abuser, y'all.
but unfortunately for me, as soon as we welcomed our daughter, sorry guys, it started happening, you know. I had just come home from the hospital with my daughter, and that's the first time it happened. And I thought it was a one-off thing, and I tried to brush it off because, like, I just had a baby, and I was planning my wedding, so I was just like, "Ugh, families will talk," and he apologized profusely. He's sorry, he was so loud, so I forgot about everything. And
I remember being a young boy and I was at my home. My father was listening to Dali Tambo and Felicia Mabuza. Was it Shuttle? And yeah, I remember them having a show like when I was 7 or 8 year old, somewhere there, listening to people talk about abuse in their relationships. I remember a woman called in, right, to say, this is the problem that I'm having. And I think I remember a man also calling in. Was it Felicia Mabuza? Did they actually have call-ins or whatever? But I actually remember a couple actually having an exchange together where the man called in and he was an abuser and he was now confronting the woman right, on TV. And he was really talking about how much he's apologetic and how much he has been beating his wife and apologizing and repeating it. And he says that he's really noticing that he's out of control. And this time he will actually stop. It has gone too far. Now their issues are on TV and the wife is crying out in public. So he's now really come to his senses. That's what he'd said on the phone. But I remember there was an expert on the show who said, nah, man, this is a typical abuser. This is exactly how they sound. And a lot of women are in trouble because of how these guys can slap you and then mend you, and be sweet.
we got married that October. And yeah, like, I mean, I had my own family now. My husband, I'm married. I'm finishing school. Um, the abuse, I don't like to use,
The abuse.
but it carried on happening, guys, like, for all these years. And I think
He's a woman beater. Let me help you finish. You see, he's a woman beater. Yeah, he's an abuser.
you guys, there were times when I'd record videos like bruised, injured, and I'd make up stories. And there was a time when I think I had reached 50,000 subscribers, and I had a bandage on my hand. And I told you guys, Uguti,
I remember that. I remember. I remember because I think I've been watching Sims for a long time, ne? And she had like a setup that was very interesting. It was chaotic. She was giving off at first the Mamko Bozi vibes. I was just washing, Iwashin Lapana, and now a story just dropped. Now I'm in front of camera. The baby would be disturbing, and it was really enjoyable like that. So When I saw her messed up, I was thinking, hey, Marabo Sims, maybe you are busy and chacharach like that, and you could have been in a hurry, fuguzing, and you hurt yourself. But hey, here are the facts. There's a wife beater involved.
It's the car door that hit me, but it was him, and I don't know, Guti. I was in denial because like it was happening again, and this time like it seemed more permanent because this person is my husband and we have kids and angazi guy. Where was I? So the one thing that I don't like about marriage, especially like in I don't know in traditional families, is that the wife gets held more accountable. Like you are the one that's supposed to keep your family together. You're supposed to hold on more. Like I was told to cook more, clean more, be more wifely. And
I am married, right? And this angle and this much responsibility on a woman, I don't know it because I am a black South African man. Ke Mopedi, wa bona. Our culture has a particular identity, you see. Spirituality that is linked to culture and whatever aside, I'm Christian. I'm not about this snafe and the purpose and the pathing and that deep spiritual stuff. But I recognize my language. I recognize how my people dress and how they celebrate themselves, you know. So, in marital terms, I'm married under a Christian union, a Christian bond with Christian ethics, with responsibilities apportioned, you know, and the man given responsibility, you know, and the woman having her responsibilities, both of us playing a very critical role, you see? So I know that a man in the marriage that I'm in the Christian body, the man is most responsible. So maybe they've got it flipped on the other side. Abantaba practice isintu and whatever. Let's hear more about it.
and especially as
So cooking more would have fixed things according to what culture says. That's why we don't practice culture and we practice Jesus.
someone with my career, as like obviously I got married when I was still in school and I didn't know how my career path would pan out, and I didn't know that I'd be like a social media personality, and my husband is more traditional in that sense. So yeah.
Oh, so a liberal young woman, you know, not long ago also on the podcast, we had Owami, I've mentioned. And Owami said she noted that when she was starting to make money on YouTube and at some point she got hacked, the husband was seemingly sadistically happy over that. And it seemed as it went on, it appeared that this guy wanted to be a traditionalist where a woman is subject, she's kept, there's no potential or reach beyond a certain point. She needs to just behave herself and curb herself and limit herself so that she does not exceed the man. That kind of relationship. Well, actually, it does seem like cultural, traditional relationships are problematic, man. Yeah.
Yeah, like it just, guys, it was a lot. Like I'm not gonna go into too many details because I mean there's children involved, but I'm not gonna go into too many details. But and please get this, I was never gonna bring this on social media, you know. He brought it up on social media. So I knew this day would come, you know. I knew this day would come, and the gist of the matter is my marriage is over. My marriage is over. It's been over.
Oh my
It's
God.
been over. I mean, even pre the wedding celebration that we had in December, they
It's a sad one for their marriage, man. It's a sad one. It's a sad representation for the marriage institution, the union. The body, the vehicle within which we co-raise children and we put all of our assets into a pot. Well, in this one life that we have. You see, in this life where I'm a man and I need a woman, and a woman also needs a man, and our coming together creates children who now permanently need their mother and permanently need their father, which truly means family. I feel sad for that. You see, people might say marriage is a ring, marriage is a certificate, marriage is shared bank accounts, marriage is loss of identity. No, bro. No. Marriage is a fundamentally good thing that builds a society. When families are good, the community becomes good, the society becomes good. You can see she's already concerned about the kids. It is a concern, you see, but not because of the divorce, but because the marriage was also problematic. So there's concern there too. She's not merely concerned about the breaking up of her union and what problems it is now causing and how it is now spilling over onto the streets. No, it's not just the present. In past, this body, this union was seemingly rotten at its core. You see? So, hey, man.
was a family meeting because I didn't want to continue because what was I celebrating, But because I had to gift my in-laws, I hadn't completed my part. I had to gift my in-laws, and I mean we had reached the 5-year mark. So, and you're trying to paint a good picture, perfect picture, like with you holding it together, but everything is falling apart. So yeah, I mean, shortly after our wedding celebration, it didn't take long until like things finally like came apart. So, as you have seen, maybe throughout this whole year thus far, I've haven't been filming from my apartment because I no longer live there. I moved back home, and I've been home since trying to figure out my next plan because
That really sucks, man. That is really sad. You see, that is really sad. That is really sad. She knows what she's going through, and I respect her very much, I don't condone toxic marriages, and neither does the Christian Union condone it, There are grounds for divorce, you see? There are definite grounds for divorce. And, I always play the game of Christ versus traditional isintu, I'm always dunking on the other side, I'm always making fun because we're living in a culture and time where the content that makes fun of God, of Jesus, is very popular. Bo Penwele, bo Maponga, bo DJ Sbu, a whole list of people are anti-Christ, and it's valuable content for them. It generates them money. So as somebody who engages in warfare, whenever I see the idiocy of the alternative that they've taken, I always say, but in this case, I don't want to do that. If it seems like I've been doing that, I want to stop. I'm not saying that she could have done better if she had been in a Christian union. Sad for you for being a traditionalist. Nah, man. It's sad what's happening here. And I've seen a lot of Christian people, or people who identify as Christian, because people can be technically Christian, meaning via identity and the holidays they celebrate and the identity that they put on. And then there's Christianity in practice, you see. So let's just say not distinguish either one. I've seen people who go to church, even those who are seriously committed, just run into issues, you see. So it doesn't boil down to what kind of marriage was it. Was it Christian or was it traditional? what values did your, okay, the values play a serious part. Then that's where I'll say there are differences. That's why I'd say now I start to favor the Christian Union because of the values that it has. You can hear here, they said, here are your values. Cook more, clean more, wipe the napkins more. You see? But what is the source of problems in people's relationship is themselves. It's their characters. It's meeting as incompatible people. You know, Christians would say being unequally yoked. So y'all are not balancing, you see? So here I think there was a personality and behavioral problem. The man is an issue, Babon. I wonder how Sim's participation was. I'd like to talk to her about it when she's ready for it. Whenever she's ready. It's gonna take a while for the divorce to be finally put down, and I'm sure she'll talk about a lot. She's a strong girl. She's gonna be herself during this period. You know, it's difficult for a content creator to be talking about gossip like this, and then now it's your stuff and your boyfriend. Seems they've been apart. I heard it from Owami's video as well that it seems they were staying together but separated, and they were sort of moving on. I guess it's a strategy that some married people play when they want to bring the marriage now down to a landing properly. But now it seems like it's crashing. You see, the pots and pans are being thrown out. Wabon. It's a nasty one. You see, claws are out. You see, it's going to the streets. You see, it's time for pettiness. You know, it's time to be the smallest one possible. One told. If you go down, I go to hell. One told. If you are going to be small, I'm going to be tiny as an ant. One told. If you go up, I'm going to Mount Kilimanjaro. And it's sad, man, when people who loved each other now start, being exposed for how base they are. Relationships have a way of doing that. I'll make this example. People who practice is seen to believe in spirit animals, and they trace their personalities and their archetypes to how particular animals behave. So, there's animality, follow. You see, there's the way people can become so base and so low. It seems like that's what's happening, and I hope for no more of it. Hey.
No one plans to divorce or break up with their permanent partner or spouse. So yeah, that's why I've been so inconsistent on my channel, and this is why I've been so emotional, and I've been reacting so much. You guys know, I haven't been reacting to the negativity or whatever that came my way on social media, but because of everything that has been going on in my personal life.
Case in point, the Dineo Ranaka situation. Her reaction was real there. She was intense.
I'm just so fragile, and yo guys, so can
and it's killing her consistency. This is how she makes her bread. This is what sucks about being real on camera. Talking about people's business, and now your business being spoken, and now you having to just continue work despite this, and your work is appearing, and having people see your emotions. Man, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. If you've chosen this path, these are the drawbacks. This is the difficulty of this fancy, pretty job of sitting in front of a camera in your room, nice and safe. There's a cold front outside. I'm chilling here with a heater, talking gossip for monetization.
So how did we get here? Let me get to how we got to this part. So it's school holidays. All our kids are here. As you know, we have a blended family. All our kids are here. So it means that we have to be under the same roof together. So I was sleeping, and my ex got a hold of my phone, and he went through my phone. I'm my password and stuff. So My phone is easy to access, and I've had the same passwords that he has access to. So he went through my phone. He found out that I had moved on. I've been in a new relationship. It's fairly new, and I just feel bad for my person because he's not on social media. He's not on any platform, and his only crime is just liking me. So it's like it's a fairly new thing. It's like literally a month old.
Okay. Um, I mean, I can't just play favorites because I like her. I gotta ask a question, or I gotta wonder loudly, you see. If it's been over, you see, and you are now with a new person, say it's fairly new, say it's fairly a month, but that means you've met this person maybe 2 or 3 months before that, and now you're being officially together. If it's been over that long, it should have been over, you see? It should have been over. It's while you are married and deals like these are being made to say, let's move on together. It happens. This is planet Earth, right? But it's not the right thing to do, you see. At some point, when you now start kissing another person, you see, and you don't mind or don't even care if the person that you are married to is kissing someone else, it's time to call it quits quickly because it's bad.
So he found pictures and videos of us on my gallery and posted them on my Instagram, knowing that I'm a social media person. Posted them on my Instagram, posted them on my Facebook. He sent them to all the WhatsApp groups in my family. So I've just decided, Kuti, let me just come online, and I mean, I have a platform, so I might as well use it. So I know it's going to be a very interesting couple of days because I mean, I talk about people for a living, so I am not going to stop anyone from talking about this. Hey, guys, one thing about men, I tell you, I one thing about me, I believe in Indota, guys, and it happened to me too. Like I'm no longer married. It's sad, but it is what it is. And to my babe, so famous now, angazi-ke ungangiganyeli ngoba sebayakwazi abantu. Hey, like guys, I'm really trying. Like I've cried. Trust me, I've cried. I may seem nonchalant right now, but trust me, I've cried. The craziest things have happened, but I've got my kids to think about. And I mean, today tomorrow there'll be a different story. So yeah, man, it's literally 3 a.m. and my kids have been awake through this whole drama. So let me just post this video and like take care of my kids behind the scene. I'm gonna be off social media. So I'm gonna be off social media. At least my person is cute. You guys can see what you want to say, but I'm cute. So it's fine. So guys, I'm off social media. Guys, do what you want with the story. I'm not bothered. I knew it was gonna come out at some point. Do what you want. It's okay. I will see you on my next videos. Bye.
Oh yeah, man. So that's that's Sims right there. And that's the whole situation. See? Very sad, man. She says you all are invited to talk. You all are invited to say what you want to say. So say what you want to say then. But hey, man, it's a sad thing. Let's not trash it. Yeah, man. But hey, I guess I'm talking to the female community right now because as a woman, she's spoken about a whole lot of other women's business, and it's up to these women how they handle it. And of course, you all know, Mus, a man can't come here and tell you all to feel sorry for Sims or to take her side. So it is what it is, man. Sims, I hope the best for you.